4-0 is 4-0. Undefeated is undefeated. You'll take that any day of the week. But at times, this wasn't the prettiest path to an unbeaten mark for the Terps.
From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
Turnovers. We talked about it last week in terms of the Big Ten Conference as a whole. Teams turning the football over. Well, it keeps on happening. Instead, this time, it's a Big Ten team forcing turnovers and another Big Ten team giving away a lot of turnovers. The Terps, they keep on forcing turnovers. Michigan State, well, they keep on having some problems. It's the short field for me. The short field for Maryland. Maryland was able to capitalize on the Spartans turning the ball over, giving them that short field to make things easier going into the end zone. A lot of pressure was put on this Michigan State defense in those situations early in this game. Kind of later on in the game, when you saw more normal, longer field situations, you saw the Sparty defense kind of step up, play a little bit better, put more pressure on Taulia Tagovailoa, get him running around, maybe get this Maryland offense a little bit out of rhythm. You saw the Terps really capitalize on the momentum that their defense gave them, especially early in this game. Let's talk about the early part of this football game because it's that first quarter, early second quarter, where Maryland hasn't gotten off to the hottest start, especially the last 2 weeks. Down 14-0 against Charlotte and Virginia. The last 2 weeks, they got out to, well, they were just fine early in this football game. And as they got out to that big lead early, they definitely looked like this is a superior team. And I thought that they were really going to keep that rolling. But when the turnovers weren't there as much, a lot of drives kind of stalled out, weren't able to get into the end zone. Taulia Tagovailoa turns the football over, that kind of thing. They weren't able to really keep that momentum going and keep rolling. Now, the final score might indicate Maryland was a much better team, and I firmly believe that they still are and still were a much better team than Michigan State. But where would we be without these turnovers? Without Noah Kim throwing some of these interceptions early in the game and then throughout the game as well? It was bad enough where he got the hook in favor of Caton Hauser late in this game. And I know Hauser turned the football over deep in the Maryland territory as well when they had a chance to possibly make this a one-possession game. Where would the game be? Well, it would be a completely different ball game because this game was centered around the turnover. Michigan State, man, I think there's decent players, there's good players, there's solid players all across this football team, but they don't look good right now. I'm not going to lie. They don't look good as a team overall. Like in the first half the last 2 weeks against Washington and Maryland, they've been outscored 56-3. Look, Washington might be the best team in all of college football. Maryland might be a solid, really good team in the Big Ten. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing 05 Texas and 01 Miami. You get outscored 56-3 in the first half back-to-back weeks. There's a problem. There's a problem, and they need to fix these problems. I know this turnover, this coaching staff kind of maybe halted some things and really changed some things, made some things difficult for Michigan State, but I think there's good players on this team. I think there's solid play. You don't turn the football over in this game, and this one probably goes down to the last play of the game. It probably does. But that's not what happened. You can't live in that fantasy world. You can't live in that alternate reality. I saw coaches with shirts on the sideline saying, the ball, the ball, the ball. Well, the ball was going over to Maryland, right? It's just, you got to practice what you preach. And Michigan State just came out on the short end. When I talk about Sparty, I want to talk about Nathan Carter because he's the bell cow of not only this run game, but also this offense. Nathan Carter and this run game, good things happen when they're creating momentum in the run game, when they're running downhill and they're able to stack on first down after first down with some physicality in the ground game up front. You saw what happens when maybe you put the ball into Noah Kim's hands a little bit too much. When you get into third down and medium, third down and long, and you got to try to throw. Sure, Noah Kim can make a few good throws here and there, but consistently, I don't think Noah Kim is a guy that you can really put the ball into his hands and expect him to go win you a football game. This is a Michigan State offense. Said this at the beginning of the year. It's going to be a traditional Big Ten style to win for Michigan State. It's going to be run game and defense. Defense showed bright spots in this game. Run game showed bright spots. But where they maybe turned the ball over and kind of gave this game away to Maryland is where this one kind of shifted towards the Terps, is when Noah Kim putting the ball into the air, turning the football over. And you look at special teams. Like, that's another thing. We talk about those early points off turnovers, and then you've got a shanked punt that gives Maryland a short field at the 40-yard line or something, and then they're able to technically got a field goal off of that one as well. So Nathan Carter, if they can't run the ball, set it against Washington. I know they're a great team. They're an elite team, the Huskies are. But it happened against Washington. And then you see the run game go against Maryland, and then when they put the ball into the air, good things don't happen, like when they run the football. There was a moment in time here late in the third quarter. Michigan State just got a score, and they just got to stop, and it was 21-9. All the momentum was in favor of Michigan State. How different would this game be? Noah Kim on 3rd and 4 has got a receiver open by multiple steps, and he just overthrew him. He puts that one on target. That's a touchdown. And you got a one-possession game. That's late in the third quarter. You got a one-possession game going into the fourth quarter, and it's that different. But we keep on coming back to that for Michigan State. We keep on coming back to Noah Kim and him maybe not being able to make a lot of throws. He can make a few throws, but not make a lot of throws. And really, I'm very curious to see. They put Caden Hauser in the fourth quarter. You know, you're getting a guy who's cold just coming out of the bullpen. You don't really expect a lot out of him, as talented as Caden Hauser may be. I'm very curious to see where they go at the quarterback position, because now the precedent has been set where you're willing to open this thing back up to Noah Kim and Caden Hauser. Very interested to see how things go. Maryland, keep forcing turnovers. Keep forcing turnovers. This game would be a lot different if they did it. I want to hear your thoughts on this game. With Maryland remaining undefeated, they've got a possible undefeated, maybe versus undefeated game against Ohio State here coming up a little bit down the stretch. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this game. Do you think Maryland is a team that can compete with maybe some of these other teams in the Big Ten East? And what do you think about Michigan State right now? They got Iowa coming up. This is kind of a rough stretch for Sparty. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching Big Ten Ted, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.